Hey everybody, Jack Clips Painting here with a new video, and today we're doing a bit of a review on top of an airbrush tutorial. I've got this Space Marine Inceptor here that I've done a little bit of conversion work on using some 3D printed bits from Shapeways, and these bits make Space Marines look like Zaku's, and if you're a huge Gundam nerd like I am, this is some awesome stuff. They come on a sprue just like this from Shapeways, where they were 3D printed, and this resin is a bit hard to see on video because it is semi-translucent white and reflects quite poorly. But here is a finished model from a Space Marine suppressor, and we painted this guy up on my Twitch channel over the past few streams, so you can go watch the replays there if you didn't catch it live. And you can see just how great these look when they're fully painted up. And so today we're going to do a little bit of a Char Aznable red scheme on our Inceptor over here, and I'm going to show you how I mixed that color up to get that perfect Char red and how I airbrushed it. First things first, we're going to do a pre-shade. This is not something I normally do on Space Marines because my personal style is a little bit more high contrast. But today we want a little bit of a more flat look, kind of like you saw on our green Zaku, to mimic the Gundam anime style, which is a little bit more flat. And I've got some white paint in the airbrush with some flow improver. You can use any white paint you want. You can use white primer even to do a pre-shade. And I'm just very carefully spraying at a higher angle, kind of far away from the model, so that I can get our white paint build up over our black primer so that the high areas are highlighted and our recesses are still black primer. And what this does is it allows us to do some airbrushing over top of it, and our airbrush colors are going to be nice and vibrant, but we're still going to have some contrast in our details on the model. Our first red is going to be Burnt Red from Pro Acryl. This is a darker red, almost burgundy color, and I've got it thinned out in the airbrush with a liberal amount of flow improver because we want to spray this over the model in almost a transparent state so that our pre-shade will show through very slightly. So what we're trying to do is tint the entire model with this darker red, and that's going to set up the model for our brighter, kind of somewhere between bright red and salmon pink Char red color. It's a very strange color that it works, like it looks really cool, but it is kind of a weird color in the grand scheme of mixing red colors. It's not a red orange, but more of a pastel red. So I'm taking bold Pyrrole red from Pro Acryl and our bold titanium white and some bright ivory, and I'm mixing these together. And the exact ratio was about 4 drops of red, 2 drops of ivory, and 2 drops of white. And that got me this nice sort of pastel red, almost salmon pink color. And then we're going to lightly spray that over top of the model. Again, not going too crazy with the airbrush. We want to lightly build up this color. This is a real basic airbrush technique, so just about anybody can do this with little to no practice. I'm not doing anything wild like you see me do on some of our other Space Marine projects that needs a lot of concentration and close-up control. This is pretty wide angle stuff. We're just using very thin paint and spraying it over top of the model, still letting the tinted red of our pre-shade do most of the work for us. One thing I noticed during the painting process was that our color was a bit off on the camera. So our color was looking way more neon pink than it was the proper color. So I've adjusted the color so you can see the actual paint and the actual color it is in real life. And then the next thing we're going to do is come back with some burnt red, and we're going to hand paint parts of the torso section. If you guys have seen pictures of Char's mobile suit, the color scheme on his Zaku is mostly this char kind of pink color, but the torso and skirt armor is a darker, more burgundy color. So that's why we're coming back with the burnt red. And I'm just very carefully taking my time and hand painting over these sections, just blocking them out with our burnt red. So that way, after we get into all of the secondary and tertiary detail stuff and our wash and everything, we'll have that nice two color scheme. And then when I get into painting the rest of it, I'll also do the elbow and knee pads and some of the other stuff in kind of a black German gray and our other colors that are in the Zaku color scheme. But right now we're just kind of focusing on the char reds because that is a tricky color to get down. And our reds are all dry, and this is what it looks like. The char pink came out great. I'm really liking how it looks on this model. The burnt red is perfect for that burgundy color to offset the bright salmon pink. And I'm excited to keep on painting this. We're gonna finish the model over on my Twitch channel because the primary reason for this video is just to show off the 3D printed bits and kind of talk about their clarity of detail, which is actually really good. Shapeways makes some great stuff. Some prints are better than others. It depends on how the designer made it. If you guys want to get your hands on these bits and some of the other styles of bits from the same maker, the description has a hyperlink over to his web shop on Shapeways, so you can go check that out. And if you want to see me finish Char's Zaku, make sure to catch me on Twitch, or if you want to see how I painted the green Zaku, watch the replays over on my Twitch channel. And I'll catch you next time.